Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mohammed ABSAR. Welcome you all to my online class. Hopefully, you, along with your family members, are safe and sound. I'm also fine. So, without further delay, let's get into our lesson. My dear students, in my previous class, I discussed graphs and charts. In my previous class, especially I talked on graphs, and today I'm going to discuss about charts. I mean, how to write, how to describe charts in your exam. Okay, so let's get into our lesson. Dear students, yes, today's topic is how to describe graphs and charts. Okay, before going to my lesson, let's check the learning outcomes. What is the learning outcomes? After the end of the lesson, dear students, you will be able to solve graphs and charts. I mean, how will you write? How will you describe graphs and charts in your exam? Okay, and you will be able to develop your speaking and writing skill. You know, this is a part of spoken and writing part also. In IELTS exam, these types of questions are generally studied in IELTS exam also. So uh, it will increase your speaking and writing skill. So dear students, let's get into our lesson. At first, look at the question. What is the question? The question is, locate the chart. There is a chart you see in the picture. This is a chart, okay? Especially it's a pie chart, okay? So look at the chart. It shows the time allocation of Rahim. Rahim is a boy, is a student like you, okay? So it shows the time allocation of Rahim on various activities in a day, okay? Now analyze the chart, focusing the main aspects of the total chart, I mean pie chart. Okay, আমি তোমাকে গত ক্লাসে বলেছিলাম যে পরীক্ষায় শুধুমাত্র যে গ্রাফস আসবে তা না, তোমাকে পরীক্ষা অনেক সময় পাই চার্ট দিতে পারে, শুধু চার্ট দিতে পারে, ওকে, অথবা বার চার্ট দিতে পারে, অথবা এমনি কোনো গ্রাফস দিতে পারে। ওকে, so today I'm describing here how to analyze or how to describe this pie chart, okay, and how to write this pie chart in your exam paper. Okay, okay, dear students. If we look at the pie chart, here we see Rahim spends time for homework, entertainment, meals, I mean having meals, playing and sleeping, and I see for schooling. Okay, so he spends his total time in different purposes. Okay, so you are asked to describe this chart, okay, in 150 words. How many words? 150 words. তোমাকে এই চার্টটি পুরো ডেসক্রাইব করতে হবে 150 ওয়ার্ডের মধ্যে। সো চারটি গানি কথা না, এখানে তোমাকে অনেক বেশি বাক্য লিখতে হবে, না হয় তোমার 150 ওয়ার্ডস না হলে you will not get the full marks as it is given in the question number 10. Generally it is started in question number 10, and the marks allocation is for the question is 10. Okay, so for having full marks you have to write minimum 140 to 150 words. Okay, so Now I'm going to describe the graphs, okay? And there is a footnote, and the footnote is time allocation of Rahim on various activities, okay? These will be given in your question paper, okay? You will be given a question, and you will be given a chart, okay? And you will be given a footnote also, okay? Uh, so now how will you write your answers? Okay, you know it is generally start in the question number 10. That's why at first you will write answer to the question number 10. That's why I'm writing here answer to the question number 10. Okay, dear students, I earnestly request all of you to uh, watch the lesson in your mobile in full screen mode, okay? And if possible, watch the mobile in landscape mode so that you can watch the slide, you can see the slide clearly, okay? Okay, dear students. So at first, you have to write a title. In my previous class, in my earlier class, I told you at first you have to write a title of the chart. Okay, what will be the title here? Okay, the title you can write from the footnote of the graphs. Okay, as I was earlier, I have shown here time allocation of Rahim on various activities. দেখো এখানে এই গ্রাফসটা যে চার্টটা তোমাকে দেওয়া হয়েছে সেই চার্টের নিচে কিন্তু এটা অনেক সময় দেওয়া থাকে, কখনো কখনো আবার এখানে উপরেও দেওয়া থাকে। ধরে নাও তোমাকে এটা নিচে বা উপরে কোথাও দেওয়া নেই, এই যে তোমার এই যে ফুটনোটটা দেওয়া নেই, দ্যাট কেস হোয়াট উইল ইউ রাইট? How will you write your title of the graphs or charts? Okay, you can write your title from your question. Okay, look in your question, just look here, it shows the time allocation of Rahim on various activities. So after the word shows, okay, shows, okay, from there, I mean, after shows, you see the time allocation of Rahim on various activities. You can write this part, this sentence as a title, okay? Write as a title from the question, okay? So what will you write here? The time allocation of Rahim on various activities in a day, okay? If you want to write time allocation of Rahim on various activities, that would be also correct, okay? So see the answers, see the answers. Here I have written the title, time allocation of Rahim, time allocation of Rahim on various activities. That is the title, okay? So if you don't write title, your marks 1 will be deducted, okay? You'll not be able to get full marks, okay? So time allocation of Rahim on various activities, this is the title. Now I'm going to describe the chart, okay? Look at the chart here. I have shown the chart in my different slides so that you can easily understand. You can watch the chart and you can match with your answers, okay? Look at the chart now. So at first, what I have written here, the pie chart has pictured, okay? Here I have written a verb that is pictured. If you want to write here, the pie chart has described, or you can write the pie chart has depicted, or the pie chart has illustrated, okay? These are the new verbs. You can write anyone, okay? If you are not able to write any new verbs, then you can write here the pie chart has described. That is very common, very easier for you. You can write this one also. The pie chart has described the timetable of Rahim. The timetable of Rahim. As it is the timetable of Rahim, that's why here I have written the pie chart has pictured the timetable of Rahim. He spends in various activities. He spends in various activities. This is the first sentence. Okay. So what have I written here? The pie chart, that means this is the pie chart. The pie chart has described, or the pie chart has illustrated, or you can write the pie chart has depicted, or you can write the pie chart has described the timetable of Rahim. He spends in various activities. Okay, this is the introduction part of the graphs. Okay, if you want to enlarge your introduction part, then you can add these two sentences also. What I have written here, look, in the pie chart, the time allocation of Rahim has been divided into 6 categories. Look at the graph. This graph has been divided into 6 categories. I mean, 6টা ক্যাটাগরিতে ভাগ করা হয়েছে। Look, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6. How many categories here? There are 6 categories. So you see, in the pie chart, the time allocation of Rahim has been divided into 6 categories. Okay, they are, and what are they? You can explain one by one, and they are sleep, schooling, playing, having meal, homework, entertainment. So I have not memorized this one. I have just written from your pie chart. Okay, that one has been given in the question paper. Look, sleep 25%. That means he spends time for sleeping. Okay, for sleep. That's why I have written here sleep, schooling. Okay, and then playing. Okay, he spends time for playing. Okay, and having meal. You see, meals 6% time. Okay, for having meal he spends 6% time. That's why I have written here having meal. Homework, he spends time for doing homework. That's why I have written here homework. Entertainment, he spends time for his taking entertainment, or he spends his time for entertainment, right? That's why I have written these topics here. Okay, যেটা আমি বলতে চাচ্ছি, তোমার পরীক্ষার প্রশ্নে যদি এগুলো বদলাই দেয়, তার মানে এগুলো যদি চেঞ্জ করে দেয়, তোমাকে এখানে স্লিপের জায়গায় যদি তোমাকে অন্য কিছু দেয়, এখানে যদি তোমাকে দেয় যে লয়টারিং, অর এখানে যদি তোমাকে দেয় যে সাপোজ ট্রাভেলিং, so you can write here traveling. Okay, as these categories are written here, that's why I have mentioned these items. Okay, dear students, now this is the introduction part. Okay, now another part, that is the description part. Now what will we write in description part? Look at the chart. Okay, so from the chart, okay, in every time you will refer the chart. Okay, that's why I've written here from the chart. It is noticed that, or it is seen that, or it is observed that, or it is seen that. Okay, it is clear that. Okay, we can write such a way. From this chart, it is noticed that Rahim spends. Look here, 50% of his time, total 50% of his time. How 50%? School 25% and sleep 25%. So spends 50% of his time in his educational institution and sleep in the bed. So Rahim spends his total 25%, for sleeping and 25% for schooling. That means he spends total 50% time in education, in educational institution, and sleep in the bed. Okay, so you can write here, he spends 50% of his time in his educational institution and sleep in his bed. Okay. Okay, so now already I have just described this part. Okay, now it is left. Okay, now I'm describing this part. Okay, so let's check how I'm describing this part. The percentage of spending time in his school is 25%, and he spends the same amount of time in sleeping. Okay, this sentence is also for this part. Okay, so already I have discussed this part. Now I'm going to describe this part. Okay, now go to the next slide. Look, Rahim spends a good amount of time in playing, and it takes away 19% of his total time. Look, for playing, how much time he spends. You see in the chart, playing 19%. That means Rahim spends 19% of his total time for playing. Okay, so here I have written, that's why I've written here, Rahim spends a good amount of time, in playing. Okay, at first I didn't mention here how much time he spent. Okay, just I have written Rahim spends a good amount of time in playing. Okay, so that my words can increase. Okay, যাতে করে আমার শব্দ যাতে বৃদ্ধি পায় সেজন্য আমি জাস্ট কি করেছি, এখানে সেন্টেন্স যাতে বৃদ্ধি পায় এটাকে একটু অ্যানালাইজ করে লিখছি। Okay, Rahim spends a good amount of time in playing, and it takes away. Do you know, it's a phrase. It takes away. That means it snatches away. Okay, from his life 19% of his total time. Okay, so here I have seen that he spends 19% of his time for playing, and it takes away a good amount of time from his life. Okay, from his total time. You can write such a way also. Okay. Then he spends 15% of his time for the purpose of entertainment. Look, entertainment. How much time he spends? He spends 15% time for entertainment. Okay, that's why I've written here. Then he spends 15% of his total time for the purpose of entertainment, which is, okay, there is a comparison. Okay, in my earlier class I told you that in writing graphs and charts, if you can write in comparative way, in a comparison, if you can be able to do comparison, then your marks will be increased. Okay, that will be very helpful for you to snatch the marks from your teacher. Okay, so that's why I my request all of you to write your graphs and charts in comparative way. Okay, in comparative way, so that your writing can be smooth. Okay, can be more effective, more receptive. Okay, dear students. Now here we see which is 10% less than his time in school and sleep. Which one? Look, he spends 15% time for entertainment. That means সে 15% time ব্যয় করে বিনোদনের জন্য, যেটি তার স্কুল সময়ের থেকে 10% কম, এবং তার ঘুমানোর কাজে যে তার সময় ব্যয় করে তার থেকে 10% সময় কম। সেই জন্য এটাকে আমরা এখানে লিখেছি which is 10% less than his time in school. his time in school and sleep. School and sleep. School and sleep. Okay, look. For school, he spends 25%, whereas he spends 15% time for entertainment. That's why the difference is 10%. Okay. Similarly, for sleep, he spends 25% time, whereas he spends 15% time for entertainment. Okay, যেখানে সে 15% টাইম ব্যয় করে বিনোদনের জন্য। That's why the difference is 10%. That means it is less than it is 10% less than the time for sleeping and schooling. Okay, you can write such a way. And it is 4% less than his time for playing, and it is 4% less than for playing. You see, for playing he spends 90% time, সে খেলাধুলার কাজে 19% সময় ব্যয় করে, and বিনোদনের জন্য সে 15% time spend করে. That's why the difference is 4%. Okay, আমি যেটা বারবার বলতে চাচ্ছি, you have to write in comparative way. তুলনা দিয়ে লিখতে হবে। তুমি একটার থেকে আরেকটার পার্থক্য দিয়ে লিখো, তুলনা করে লিখো, এটা এটার চেয়ে বেশি, এটা এটার চেয়ে কম। Okay, if you can write such a way, okay, you will get more marks. You will get 4 marks, okay, in your graphs writing or charts writing. Okay, now he gives 10% of his time for his homework. Okay, he spends 10% of his total time for doing homework. Okay, এখানে একটা কথা বলে রাখি, তোমরা যে সব সময় যে আমার এই বাক্যগুলোই লিখবে এমন না। তুমি যদি মনে করো যে তুমি তোমার মতো করে এক্সপ্লেইন করবে, কেউ চাইলে তুমি এটা এভাবে লিখতে পারো, he spends 10% of his time. আমি এখানে লিখেছি he gives 10% of his time for his homework. তুমি চাইলে এখানে লিখতে পারো he spends 10% time for preparing his homework, for making his homework, or for doing his homework. You can write such a way. That's also the correct answer. Okay, okay, dear student. Where he should have allotted more time. You can write this one, or you can cancel this one. তুমি চাইলে এটা লিখতেও পারো, বাদও দিতে পারো, no problem. But you can write this one. He gives 10% of his time for his homework, for doing his homework. Okay, okay, dear students. Now he spends only 6% of his time in having meals. Okay, look how much time he spends. 6% time for having meals. He spends 6% time for having meals, and this is the lowest allocation of his time. You see, this is the lowest time, this is the lowest allocation of time. So here Rahim spends the highest amount of time for schooling and sleeping, and the lowest amount of time for playing, for having meals, right? Okay, for having meals. So this is the overview of total description of the graphs, I mean charts. Okay, so now in the conclusion part, what will you write? Okay, so there is a part also, there is a description part also. If we evaluate his spending time in his activities, okay, if we evaluate now, it is also the part of description part. Okay, this part also for description. So in description part we can also write, if we evaluate, that means if we analyze the overall chart or overall pie chart, what we have got. Okay, if we evaluate his spending time in his activities, we see that he spends 25% of his time in sleep, and he is here very reasonable. I have given here in colorful way because it is a special, it has a special importance here. That's why I have given, I have colored here. Okay, so let's see what is the specialty here. He spends 25% of his time in sleep, and he's here very reasonable, right? Why is very reasonable? Because according to medical science, it's an information. That's why I have written here uh, in a color way. Okay, so science, according to medical science, one needs to spend one fourth of his time in sleep to keep oneself fit. Okay, আমরা জানি মেডিকেল সায়েন্সের নিয়ম অনুসারে একজন ব্যক্তি তার পুরো সময়ের 24 ঘন্টার 1/4 টাইম, তার মানে 1/4 সময় বের করতে হয় ঘুমানোর কাজে। এটি তার স্বাস্থ্যের জন্য ভালো। That's why here I have written why I have said here he is here very reasonable. I have written here he is very reasonable here as according to medical science one needs to spend 1/4 of his time in sleep to keep oneself fit. তোমরা যদি এই ধরনের বাক্যগুলো ইনফরমেশনগুলো তোমার ডেসক্রিপশনে আনতে পারো, দেন তোমার রাইটিংটা, তোমার গ্রাফস রাইটিং, চার্টস রাইটিংটা ভেরি স্মুথ হবে এবং এক্সামিনার তোমাকে মার্কস বেশি দেওয়ার জন্য অবশ্যই আগ্রহ প্রকাশ করবে। ওকে, দিস ইজ মাই থিঙ্কিং, দিস I believe it. Okay. Now, what will you write in the conclusion part? Okay, in conclusion, what will you write? However, or in conclusion, it can be said that, or in fine, okay. However, in fine or in conclusion, দেখো তুমি এখানে চাইলে এই শব্দগুলোই তুমি লিখতে পারো, আমি যেগুলো বলছি কি কি, in fine, in conclusion, or in at last, or finally. Okay, you can write such kind of words. Okay, however, it can be said that Rahim is a disciplined boy. Okay, why he is called a disciplined boy? You see, he maintains his daily routine in a proper way. He spends his time for sleeping, he spends his time for schooling. That means he goes to school regularly, he plays every day, he takes his meal. Okay, he spends his time for entertainment, and he spends his time for doing homework. That's why we see he's a very disciplined boy. Okay, that's why in conclusion part we can write Rahim is a disciplined boy and he is wise enough to utilize time properly. Okay, dear students, so this is the conclusion part. So I have described the chart in 3 paragraphs. One is introduction part, this one is the introduction part. Okay, this one is the introduction part, and this is the description part. Okay, this is also the description part, and this is also the description part, and finally I have written here conclusion part. Okay, dear viewers and dear students, I believe all of you have understood our today's topic. However, if any of you face to difficulties to understand, please inbox me or call me directly. I hope you will get the answers. Well, last but not the least, don't go out of home without having extreme emergency. Okay, due to unavoidable circumstances, if any of you need to go out, please comply the safety rules of health, finish the task maintaining safe physical distance, and come back home as quick as possible. Okay, stay home, stay safe. See you next class. That's all for today. Thank you so much.